Everyone online swears berberine is some kind of magic pill for blood sugar, but almost nobody warns you about the handful of side effects that can hit in the first 2 weeks. And one of them could be a real problem if you're taking certain medications. So before you swallow your first capsule, give me a few minutes. I'm going to walk you through every side effect berberine can actually cause, why it happens, and the simple tricks that make almost all of them disappear. But first, what even is berberine? Berberine is a natural compound found in plants like barberry, golden seal, and Oregon grape. Humans have been using these plants in traditional Chinese medicine for centuries. It's not something that comes in a lab, it comes from the earth, and modern science has now spent decades studying it seriously. I've spent 10 years helping people with diabetes and prediabetes get their numbers down, and berberine is one of the tools I genuinely like, but only when you use it the right way. Stick with me because near the end, I'll cover the one safety check the supplement companies almost always seem to forget to mention. And if you want my full berberine plan laid out step by step, comment the word protocol below and I'll send you my complete guide on using berberine plus a few easy daily habits to take back control of your blood sugar. Totally free. So let me tell you about two people. Same age, same goal, both started berberine on a Monday. By Friday, one of them had a stomach ache and decided the stuff just didn't agree with her and quit. The other one knew what was coming, handled it, kept going, and 3 months later, her fasting blood sugar had dropped to a number she hadn't seen in years. Same supplement, the only real difference, one of them was prepared. That's the whole point of this video. I want you to be the second person, not the first. Before we get into the side effects, let me tell you why this plant compound is even worth this conversation, because the benefits are genuinely impressive. A large meta-analysis that pooled 46 clinical trials found that berberine produced significant reductions in A1C, that's your 3-month blood sugar average, also in fasting blood sugar and 2-hour post-meal blood sugar. On top of that, it lowered insulin resistance, reduced triglycerides, dropped LDL, bad cholesterol, and even raised HDL, the good kind. In one head-to-head clinical trial, berberine brought A1C down from 9.5% all the way down to 7.5%, fasting glucose from 191 to 124 milligrams per deciliter, and post-meal blood sugar from 356 to 200 milligrams per deciliter. These results were comparable to metformin, the most prescribed diabetes drug in the world. And it doesn't stop at blood sugar. Berberine has shown cardiovascular benefits, improvements in fatty liver, anti-inflammatory effects, and works through your gut microbiome to keep improving metabolic health over time. I'm telling you all this because context matters. When we talk about side effects in a minute, I want you to weigh them against what's on the other side of the scale. High blood sugar is not a small problem. Uncontrolled blood sugar damages your kidneys, your eyes, your heart, and your nerves quietly over time before you even feel it. So something that can be another tool in your toolbox to help control blood sugar is worth talking about. But it's also just as important to talk about the potential side effects. Now let's start with the side effects you're most likely to actually feel, your gut. The most common complaints with berberine are stomach related. Things like constipation, diarrhea, nausea, gas, and a bit of belly pain or bloating. In one study where people took 500 milligrams 3 times a day for about 13 weeks, roughly 1 in 3, about 34.5%, had some sort of gut symptom. Now here's something interesting, and I think it actually makes berberine feel a lot less scary when you hear it. The gut adjustment isn't unique to berberine at all. Metformin, the #1 prescribed diabetes medication in the world, the drug millions of people have been on for decades, causes almost identical gut symptoms for the same basic reason. Metformin is estimated to cause GI issues in somewhere between 20 and 35% of users, and some reports put that number even higher depending on the dose and population. The reason both of them affect the gut is that a significant part of their action actually happens there. Both berberine and metformin activate an enzyme called AMPK. Think of it as your body's metabolic master switch, and both do a lot of that work right inside the gut wall, affecting how glucose is absorbed, how bile acids move around, and how your gut bacteria behave. The change in your gut is actually part of how they work. It's not your body rejecting the compound, it's your digestive system adjusting to something that is actively changing the way it functions. And just like with metformin, those symptoms usually settle down on their own within about 4 weeks. So if you've ever taken metformin or know someone who has and they told you the first few weeks were rough on the stomach, that's a same thing happening here for the same reasons and with the same solution. When GI symptoms pop up, the move is simply to lower the dose. For example, start with just one dose of 600 milligrams of berberine per day. After a few days or weeks, increase to 2 doses of 600 milligrams to get the standard 1200 milligrams per dose per day. Once you get to that 1200 milligram target dose, you want to split it across the day. Don't swallow one big dose at a time, and always take it with food. Your stomach is asking you to wade into the pool, not cannonball into the deep end. Do that, and most people sail right through the first couple of weeks without much fuss at all. Quick pause before I go on. If this is already helping, comment protocol below. That keyword gets you my free step-by-step berberine plan, including how to dose it, when to take it, and the daily habits that make it work even better. Okay, back to it. Now let's talk about the side effect that matters most for our crowd: your blood sugar dropping too low. Berberine is good at lowering blood sugar. That's the whole reason we like to take it in the first place. On its own, cases of blood sugar going too low, that's called hypoglycemia, are rare with berberine. But if you're already on diabetes medications like insulin or a sulfonylurea, you've now got two things pushing your blood sugar down at the same time. That's when a low becomes a real possibility. This is not a reason to avoid berberine. It's a reason to loop in your doctor so they can watch your numbers and adjust your medication if needed. Feeling shaky, sweaty, dizzy, or suddenly starving out of nowhere, those are your warning signs, and you'll want to plan in your back pocket long before any of that ever happens. Okay, a question we get asked a ton: what about your liver and kidneys? Let's go into the actual data. In the studies, liver enzymes mostly stayed the same or even improved, with only a few isolated reports of any abnormality. In a recent trial where people took 1,000 milligrams a day for 30 days, there were 0 adverse effects reported, and liver and kidney labs came back completely normal. And when researchers pulled together the large, well-designed trials, they found no serious adverse events at standard doses. At standard doses of 500 to 1,200 milligrams a day, split across a day, berberine is considered well-tolerated, and serious problems are genuinely rare. Now here's the last major side effect. Berberine can change the way your liver breaks down certain medications. It blocks a few enzymes, and I'll list them here, and that can quietly raise the levels of some other drugs in your blood higher than intended. So in plain English, if you're on certain prescriptions, berberine can turn up their strength without you knowing. For most everyday medications, this isn't a big deal, but for drugs where the dose has to be very precise, this matters. So if you're on any regular medication, the move is simple: talk to your doctor or pharmacist before you start. It takes 5 minutes, and it's the single most important safety step there is. And a few groups should definitely hold off entirely: anyone who's pregnant, newborn babies, or people with a condition called G6PD deficiency. Okay, so let's bring it home. Berberine is a well-researched, natural plant compound with real meaningful benefits for blood sugar, cholesterol, insulin resistance, and more. Its side effects are mostly mild gut stuff that fades within a few weeks, the same kind of gut adjustment you see with metformin, for the same reason and managed the same way. Start low, take it with your food, split your doses. The liver and kidneys are usually just fine when on metformin. Serious problems are very rare, and the real thing to watch is mixing it with other medications without telling your doctor first. Get that one check done, use it smart, and set yourself up to be the person whose numbers actually move. Comment protocol below, and I'll send you my free berberine and blood sugar plan. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you in our next video.